sorry for the long absence, but I'm back with another free tutorial for you guys. This tutorial is on a very simple, easy, beginner-friendly granny square tote bag, and I actually have a free written pattern for it on my Ribbler shop, which you can download if you want a written pattern version of this. But here is the video tutorial version. You can fit anything into this bag, and I hope you like it. For the materials you need, it's pretty simple. Any worsted weight yarn, basically any weight 4 yarn. It could be acrylic, cotton, anything you like. A 5.0mm hook, scissors, and yarn needle. These are the stitches you should know. You should know what a slip knot is, a slip stitch, a single crochet, a double crochet, chain space, magic ring, and chain. For the first round, you're going to take your first yarn color. For me, in this case, it's a rose pink color, and you're going to make a magic ring. To make a magic ring, you form an X with your yarn around 2 fingers. Flip that over, insert your hook in the under the very right string, and you're going to pull the left string under the right string. You're going to twist it clockwise to form a loop. And with your hook, you're going to take that string in the back and pull it through the loop. And you've just created your first chain on the magic ring. Chain 2, but also what I also like to do is unravel that extra string right there, because you're going to end up pulling it to tighten the circle. The chain 2 does not count as a double crochet, and what I'm going to do is place 3 double crochets in the circle. Then chain 2, and then place 3 double crochets in the circle. You're going to repeat this 2 more times, so you can have a total of 12 double crochets and 8 chain 2s. To end this round, all you have to do is first tighten your circle with that loose string, and then chain 2, then slip stitch it to the beginning chain 2 that you've made, just the top of that. I would say the top of like the first double crochet right there, and then slip stitch it, and that's how you close off this round. Chain 1 and cut off to close off this round. Alright, on to the second round with your second color. In this case, for me, it's like a light purple color. And what you're going to do is create a slip knot with your second color and attach it to a corner chain 2 space from your previous round. So to create a slip knot, just make a loop and then pull your string into that loop. Then I just choose any chain 2 corner. Doesn't matter, it's just any corner would work. And then I slip stitch it into the chain 2 corner. And then I chain 2, which does not count as a double crochet. What you're going to do is place 3 double crochets in the same corner chain 2 space, Every chain 2 corner space, you're going to try to make a corner, and the pattern for that is 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. But for the first one, you're only doing 3 double crochets because you're going to work around and then reach that corner at the end. The next corner, you're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets in that same corner space. Repeat this all around 2 more times. Once you've reached the final corner, you're going to add 3 double crochets, chain 2, and slip stitch it to the beginning chain in order to finish joining this round. Then chain 1 and cut off to fasten off. Alright, round 3. This is going to be your third color. For me, it's a lilac color. It's a very soft lilac color. I create a slip knot with it, and I attach it to, once again, a corner chain 2 space. It does not matter which corner, just choose any corner. And I'm going to slip stitch it into that corner. That slip stitch counts as 1 chain. So then you chain another one, and that's 2 chains. But the 2 chains does not count as a double crochet. Then what I do is add 3 double crochets in that same corner chain 2 space. And then in the next space over in between these 2 corners that we've made from the previous row, I'm going to add 3 double crochets in it. Then in the next corner chain 2 space, I'm going to make a corner. I'm going to add 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets in that same corner space. I'm going to repeat this pattern 3 more times all around until I reach my beginning corner that I started off with. Once I've reached all around, I'm going to be making the final corner. I'm going to add 3 double crochets into that chain 2 corner space, then chain 2, and then slip stitch to the beginning chain to join this round. Then I chain 1 and cut off to fasten off this round 3. On to round 4. It's literally the same thing as the previous round. I'm gonna take my purple color and create a slip knot and attach it to a corner chain 2 space. To attach it, I use a slip stitch, which counts as 1 chain, and then I chain another chain, which counts as 2 chains, and this 2 chain does not count as a double crochet. What I do next is add 3 double crochets in that same corner chain 2 space, Then in the next space over, in between those 3 double crochets in the corner space that you just, in the corner that you just made, yeah, right there, you are going to make 3 double crochets in that space, and repeat this for the next 2 spaces until you reach another corner, and then you already know how to make a corner of the granny square. For the corner, just do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets in the same chain 2 corner space. And then you're going to turn to the other side and then place 3 double crochets in the next space. You're going to repeat this all around 3 more times to complete the square. Once you've reached your final corner, all you have to do is just place a 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then slip stitch it to the beginning chains that you've made in order to join and finish this round 4. Onto round 5, it's going to be the same color. You're not cutting off from the previous round, so it's going to be a continuation with the yarn that you use from round 4. So what I do after slip stitching is I chain 2, which does not count as a double crochet, which we already know at this point, and then I'm going to place a double crochet in the same stitch. Then I'm going to place a double crochet in the next 12 stitches until I reach like to the end of the other corner. Once you reach the end of this row, in the chain 2 corner space, you are going to be adding 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets in the same corner space. This creates your corner for this round. And then you're going to place a double crochet in the next 12 stitches all the way down. Repeat this pattern 2 more times. Once you've reached the final chain 2 corner space, you're just gonna place 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the same corner space. Then you slip stitch it to the beginning chain that you've made to join this round. Then chain 1 and cut off to fasten off. Make sure you weave in all your ends. Now that we've made granny squares, we're going to learn how to sew them together. And here I'm going to show you how I sew in my granny squares and weave in my ends. I use a plastic yarn needle, and I just, well, you can get this yarn needle anywhere. It usually comes in as a package deal with crochet hooks. Anyways, I use my yarn needle. I insert it in between the yarn stitches and then insert the loose end into the hole. Then I pull through, and that usually like hides the loose end into the yarn. If you want it to be more secure, you can like figure out the placements better and make sure it's like a longer yarn piece to work with. The longer the loose end, the better it is at securing a place and hiding it. Here I'm just playing yarn chicken. Anyways, that's a better, more secure way to hide it. Make sure you weave in all your ends in the final product. So how I cut off yarn to measure how much yarn I need is that I take the yarn string, measure against the side that I'm trying to sew, and then probably add like 2 to 3 more inches on top and the bottom at the ends, so I have like room to tie it. When it comes to sewing, I look at the stitch and you see that it's like a V looking stitch, and I tend to choose the very right side of that V and the very left side of the other one. So on the right square, I'm using the very right side, and then on the left square, I'm using the very left side of that V stitch. And then that's how I'm gonna match it and insert my yarn needle to sew. For the very first stitch, I'm gonna insert my yarn and then tie the end, double knot it to make sure it's secure. And like I've explained before, you're gonna do the very left stitch and the very right stitch of each square. Once you've sewn it down, to end this row, just tie the very last stitches together, double knot it. I try to make sure it's secure by just like pulling on it, just making sure it's like not loose. And that's how I sew my granny squares. For this bag, you are going to need 13 granny squares, and this is how I arrange the squares. The left picture shows the top side, the right side, and the right picture shows the wrong side flipped over and how it's sewn. You're going to be folding it in half, and the left picture shows you how it looks like when folded in half. And the 2 squares that are sticking out, you're going to sew that in to create the bag. Now we're going to move on to making the straps. In the written pattern, I've numbered each square to show where the strap placements will be. For the bag, I'm explaining to you how it should be sewn and where the placements are. The peak of each square is called the peak, and then the corner, bottom corner of the bag is where you are going to be placing a certain stitch for that corner that I'll explain as we're making the straps of the bag. And the pictures with the arrows will show you like where it should be. Once you are laying your bag flat like this is going to be your very right square, and this is going to be your very left square. And there's a bottom corner between each square, and each square has a very top chain 2 corner space at the top where the handles are going to attach to it. And you are going to be working your way around each bottom and top corner to create these straps. So where you're going to start your stitch is creating a slip knot with your purple yarn and insert it in between the very right square at the bottom corner of it. You are going to create a slip knot at that bottom corner and then place a single crochet in the chain 2 space, and then place a single crochet in the next 14 stitches until you reach the top chain 2 corner space of the very right granny square. Once you've reached the very top chain 2 corner space, you're going to place a single crochet and then chain 100 chains. You are going to be creating a single crochet on the very top left square after you made your 100 chains. Then you're going to flip your bag over. Just flip it over. And what you're going to do is single crochet down the 100 chains that you've created until you reach the other side of your previous very right square. As you can see here, I'm just going to be placing a single crochet in each chain that I've made into the 100 chains. Once you've made your 100 single crochets and you've reached back to the original very right square, you're going to be placing a single crochet into the corner chain 2 space, and then single crochet down the 14 stitches of that square. Once you've reached like the very bottom corner of those, between those 2 squares, you're gonna just slip stitch into that space below, which is like the previous chain 2 corner space of the square below it. Just slip stitch into that space and then single crochet up the rest of the 14 stitches of the left square. This will reunite you with the handle that's attached to the left square. What I do is place a single crochet in that chain 2 quarter space and then slip stitch into the handle of the 100 single crochets that I previously made, chain 1, and then cut off a tail to fasten off. This one's going to require you to weave in your ends with a yarn needle, so you're going to take your yarn needle and just like sew that in into like the straps. And that's how you create your first strap handle on one side of your bag. And you're just going to repeat this by flipping over your bag to create the straps of the other side. Once you create your second strap on the other side of your bag, make sure you weave in any loose ends. Make sure all your granny square ends are also weaved in. And that's gonna be the final thing you have to do for your bag. Your bag's finished. And here is the bag. It's pretty simple, it's beginner friendly. You can do this in any color combination. This is the easiest pattern ever. It's pretty big, you can fit anything in it. Ooh. Fail. I'm sorry.